The Halloween franchise has finally come to an end, but some people still want more horror in their lives. They still want to get scared, as if Halloween Ends wasn't scary enough. Fortunately for them, there are some horror games that can make this happen for them. In this video, we'll talk about some of the best and most addictive horror games that you guys can play. Let's get started. First up at number 10, The Quarry. The Quarry is easily one of the scariest games out there, and you should definitely give this one a shot. The Quarry is a video game in which you're the one who's in control of the whole story. All your decisions and actions affect how the story of the game unfolds. Released in 2022, the plot of this game revolves around a summer camp in which 9 camp counselors try to survive the horrors that they're facing. They come across many supernatural elements in the forests of upstate New York. The game starts at the end of the summer camp when all the counselors are saying their goodbyes to each other. Little do they know that their mode of transportation is broken, and now they're stuck in that forest, and only you can get them out of there. Soon they realize that they're not alone in that forest. Someone else is also there waiting to pounce on them. You can enjoy this game with up to 7 of your friends. Each of you will act as a counselor and decide what happens. But don't worry, you won't need 7 different controllers, of course. Only one controller can be passed around the whole group as their assigned character comes up. Now for number 9, Until Dawn. Until Dawn is a PlayStation 4 exclusive adventurous horror game, so if you own a PS4, you're in for one hell of a ride. The story of this game is based on a few teenage friends who decide to visit a secluded mountain for their winter getaway. All hell breaks loose when they find out that there's a supernatural force around them. This game has multiple stories and multiple outcomes, so you can play this game many times. Each story of the game lasts about 9 hours. Depending upon your choices of action, the story keeps on unfolding and changing as the game moves on. All this happens because of the built-in butterfly effect of the game that helps gamers in playing multiple stories. It's one of the most interactive games on the market. For example, if things get really bad, you might even have to sacrifice one of your characters or choose to keep all of those 8 characters alive. It all depends on the player's decision making. Placed number 8, Dead by Daylight. Dead by Daylight is a 4v1 game, and it's probably one of the most played horror games right now. Out of the total 5 players, one of them plays the killer, and the other 4 are survivors. The survivors need to escape through a lot of scary objects and the killer himself to save their lives. The survivors don't have any weapons with them. The only way they can fight back is by stunning the killer, or by using different objects lying around the place. For example, they can use a flashlight to blind the killer and escape him. The only way out for the survivors is by the exit gates, but the catch is that those gates are jammed because there's no power. So in order to power up those gates, the survivors must repair 5 out of the 7 generators that are spread out in different places on the map. To make the game more interesting and addictive, the creators have started to add more new scary skins and maps to the game. Coming up at number 7, Friday the 13th. If you're a fan of the Halloween franchise and a fan of the horror genre as a whole, this game is the perfect choice for you. It's a multiplayer game just like Dead by Daylight, but in this game, the players can play as the legendary Jason Voorhees. And to make the game more addictive, there's another version of this game called the Ultimate Slasher Edition. The creators have added many more models to play in that edition. Aside from the multiplayer mode, this game also has a story mode. In the story mode, the player is able to control Jason Voorhees and complete the tasks that have been assigned. The tasks include killing different characters. This is great for someone who's playing the game for the first time. They can improve their killing skills in the story mode, and when it's time to play a multiplayer battle, they're already a pro. And we don't even have to tell you how scary this game is. You already know what to expect when the name Jason Voorhees comes up. Let's talk about Firewatch at number 6. What makes Halloween so scary is the feeling of always being stalked by someone. For example, in the movie, Michael Myers is the one doing the stalking, like he's sometimes hiding behind the bushes or the laundry. This creates that sort of tension, which is what the audiences want from a horror movie. This game has exactly that. The players have to guard a fire watchtower in the middle of nowhere. All around that tower is just a forest that looks like a beautiful piece of nature in the day, but is scary as hell at night. After not too long, the players realize that they're not alone. Someone is hiding in the woods. Another special thing about Firewatch is its choice-based story. We'll warn you though, the game can get really spooky at times, so it's definitely not for the faint of heart. At number 5, Heavy Rain. Heavy Rain is based on the story of a serial killer. The killer is on the loose, but the thing is that he only kills his victims when it's raining heavily, hence the name Heavy Rain. This game almost feels like we're watching a horror movie. The truly terrifying nature of the game makes it worth playing. Not only that, but Heavy Rain has also been nominated for many Game of the Year awards. Up next, number 4, Monstrum. Released in 2015, Monstrum is a horror game based on survival. The player is stuck on a huge cargo ship and is attacked by monsters. All other members on that ship are killed, and the player is left alone. With the monsters waiting to eat the player alive, they must collect some resources in order to escape from the ship. Randomly generated plays of the game make it even more intriguing. Now, if you're not familiar with the term randomly generated plays, they simply mean all the objects that you'll come across in one playthrough won't be there necessarily in the next. For example, if you see several objects inside a room, let's say a chair, in the next playthrough, it won't be there. The players come across different formations of every room in each playthrough. This does a great job of keeping the game fresh, since you'll never know what to expect. As for the gameplay, not all 3 monsters attack the player at once, which makes it a bit easy but still scary. Each monster has its own strengths and special abilities. There are several escape routes spread out for the players, like a helicopter, submarine, and the life raft. The player can use any of them to escape the monster. Definitely don't want to miss out on this one. Following up on number 3, Halloween. Yes, there's a Halloween game too. Isn't that what y'all asked for? Even though this isn't an official game, nor is it officially on sale, it's still a very famous game. Halloween's a fan-made game, and you can download it from the official website and enjoy the scares. It's an in-demand game on YouTube and Twitch. Streamers are getting millions of views on their channels just by streaming the gameplay of Halloween. The game isn't that hard either. All the player has to do is babysit Tommy on Halloween. Soon, Michael Myers appears out of nowhere, and the game turns into a scare fest. It's a very well-made game. We hope to see its official release someday. Now for number 2, Alien Isolation. The Alien franchise has set the bar too high when it comes to sci-fi horror. Released in 2014, Alien Isolation is another survival-based game, but is nothing like its counterparts. It's just another amazing entry into the Alien franchise. The story revolves around the game's main character, Amanda, who's investigating her mother's disappearance. The game isn't something out of this world. It's just a classic human versus alien story, but that's enough to make this game stand out. Players will have to use their skills to fight Xenomorph, who's a really scary creature. Xenomorph is keen on erasing every last living being, and we have to stop him from doing that. Finally, at number 1, Resident Evil. Resident Evil is the GOAT of horror games, period. Horror games just don't get better than Resident Evil. It's a legendary game that's been played all around the globe. The graphics, the gameplay, the characters, everything about it is amazing. Although Halloween is about a serial killer and Resident Evil games just have zombies everywhere, the two franchises still share many similarities. Both have jump scares, screams, and never-ending tension. The Resident Evil franchise has both first-person and third-person shooter games. In order to survive, the players must kill all the zombies and other creatures. That's a wrap for this video. What's your favorite horror game? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you at the next one.